In this question, as you can already see, lambda is equal to 10 microcoulomb per meter. It is wrong. You will calculate it yourself and it will come out to be 0.1 microcoulombs per meter. Now come to the question number 24. Two large, thin metallic plates are parallel and close to each other. On their inner faces, the plates have surface charge densities of opposite signs and of magnitude 17 into 10 raised to power minus 22 coulomb per meter square. What is E, a part in the outer region of the first plate? Now you have done this today. If we are having two metal plates placed parallel close to each other and they are having opposite surface charge densities, the electric field in the region between the two plates, it comes out to be sigma over epsilon naught, whereas in the region on the outer sides of the two plates, it is equal to 0. So in the first part, what is the electric field in the outer region of the first plate? Definitely it will be 0. Second part, in the outer region of the second plate, it will be also 0. And third part, you are being asked to find electric field between the plates. So what's the formula to calculate the electric field between the plates? Yes, it is sigma over epsilon naught. Sigma is given to you. You put the value for epsilon naught and then calculate. It will come out to be 1.92 10 to the power minus 10 newtons per coulomb. So come to the next question number 25. An oil drop of 12 excess electrons is held stationary under a constant electric field of 2.55 10 raised to power 4 newtons per coulomb in Millikan's oil drop experiment. An oil drop is having 12 excess electrons. It means it will be negatively charged. What's the total charge on this oil drop? Q is equal to what? N into E. N here is 12. E here is 1.6 10 to the power minus 19. Put Q with negative sign because there is excess of electrons over that oil drop. Now, it is held stationary under a constant electric field. It means the weight of the oil drop will be balanced by the force due to the electric field. The density of the oil is given to you, 1.26 grams per centimeter cube. Estimate the radius of the drop. You take G as 9.8 meter per second square. E is also given to you. Now, in order to keep the oil drop stationary under a constant electric field, the first step is what? That is the charge. If it is Q, then the force due to the electric field, Q into E, will be balanced by the weight of that oil drop, that is M into G. Now, what is mass? Mass of the oil drop. As the oil drop is spherical in shape, so mass can be obtained by putting volume into density. If R is the radius, then volume will be 4 by 3 pi R cube. Density, let it be say rho. So 4 by 3 pi R cube into rho gives you the mass, multiplied by G gives you the weight, is equal to what? E into Q. What is Q here? Total charge. It is N into E. Then you have to calculate R. So R cube is what? 3E NE by 4 pi rho G. Putting all the values E, N, then small e, rho, G and pi, you calculate R cube and finally R. This comes out to be 9.8 10 raised to power minus 7 meters. Now come to the question number 26. Which among the curves shown in the figure cannot possibly represent electrostatic field lines? You are given some figures. You have to check out which one is correct and which one is incorrect. Now first of all, come to the first figure, that is A. Now, can these type of electric field lines exist? You can see that the electric field lines here are not normal to the conductor. So, it is wrong because as we have already studied, electric field lines are always normal to a conductor. So, figure A is wrong. Come to the B figure. Now there is one property we have studied, that electric field lines always originate from the positive charge and terminate at the negative charge. So electric field lines, they cannot come out of the negative charge, right? But here in the figure B, you can see the electric field lines, they are coming out from a negative charge. Again, this figure is wrong. Come to the third figure. There are two positive charges separated by certain distance. Electric field lines, they are exerting lateral pressure over each other. So this figure is exactly correct. They are also coming out of the charges. So it satisfies all the properties of electric field lines. So C figure is correct. Come to the D figure. Again, there are charges, 3 charges positive. Now, in this figure, we know electric field lines, they always originate from the positive charge and they cannot intersect each other. But here, the electric field lines, they are intersecting each other. Also, they are terminating at the positive charge. So, this figure is wrong. Come to the E figure again. Electric field lines, you can see they are forming closed loops, but we have studied they don't form closed loops. So again, this figure is wrong because electrostatic field lines cannot form closed loops.